Guys, Angela from Dragonfly Sales Urban Homestead here, and just wanted to have a little chat with you this evening. Remember that if you like our channel, please hit subscribe and like our videos, and please share them with your friends. We're up to 59 subscribers now, which I know it doesn't seem like a lot for some of the bigger channels, but considering this is going to be just our 11th video, I'm pretty proud of ourselves and how far we've come, and we're learning a lot. Tonight I'm trying out our new microphone, so I'm hoping it works, hoping it cuts down on some of the noise. I am outside on our back porch though, so we live pretty close to a freeway, unfortunately. So just so you know, you're going to hear some of that in the background. But what I wanted to talk to you about tonight was something that I had hoped I wouldn't have to talk to you guys about and that I would never have to experience. But it is our first year gardening, a big garden like this, and a lot more varieties than I've ever done in the past. So I guess I shouldn't be really surprised. But because we have had some unusually warm weather, now tonight, as you can tell, it's chilly. It's in the 50s right now, so I'm freezing out here. I guess I'm slowly becoming a Californian, but don't tell Jim I said I was freezing, because I always give him a hard time about him being cold. But what happened was, a couple weeks ago, we had some really warm temperatures. We were up to almost 90 for a couple of days. And then we've had a few days like that scattered in between. So unfortunately, we had some of our plants bolt. Now, if you don't know what bolting means, basically what happens is the plant kind of skips the vital part that we need to grow the veggies, and it goes right into flowering and seeding. And a lot of different things can happen to cause that. I'm still learning about it, so when you see me glancing down, I'm looking at some of my notes that I made. Basically what happened was, I think with our plants, was it just got too warm. And that warmed up the soil, and some of the plants that we had planted that bolted, which was like our lettuces and our arugula, and some of our radishes are starting to bolt. And we also had our broccoli. The broccoli was the big thing. It was starting to look great. I thought it was going to be wonderful. And then all of a sudden we got these gorgeous yellow flowers on it. But the ground temperature has something to do with it. So when it got hotter, it heated up the ground temperature too much. And some of those plants that I just mentioned are definitely cool weather plants. And really, bolting's just a survival mechanism for the plant. And if it gets above where it thinks it could survive, then what's going to happen is it's going to try and produce the next generation, which is the seeds, as quickly as possible. So instead of producing the fruits and the vegetables, it's just going to jump right into the flowers. So it was heartbreaking. It can be good in a way though, because I'll try to rescue some of the seeds from these plants if I let them get that far. Unfortunately, the broccoli has grown so big though, I planted it too close to my peppers anyway. And so I probably will pull those out tomorrow, hopefully, so that I can make room for some more onions that I've got that I want to put in. And the lettuce and the arugula, that's okay. They definitely were cool weather plants, and I should have put them in earlier, and I'm going to try those under some of our trellis. Sorry about that. The camera came flying off the tripod. So what I was saying was, the lettuce I'm not going to get a whole lot worried about. I'm going to try and plant some of those in more shadier areas, and in particular I'm going to plant them under the trellises where we've got the peas that are just going crazy right now, and then the beans are starting, and then the cucumbers are starting. So I'll try to plant some more of those, and if not, then we'll just go towards the fall. So it wasn't it wasn't horrible that those happened, but I definitely did not expect it to be as quickly as it came. So the big lesson that I learned was I need to pay better attention to what are cool weather and what are warm weather plants. And things like my lettuce and my broccoli and radishes and those type of things, I need to get them in earlier in spring, and then I'll try them again in the fall when it cools down. We're in zone 10B. We're in the San Diego area. So it's really not unexpected, but you know, it happens. We just had warmer than usual temperatures. We don't have drip irrigation yet, so I don't have that where it's a constant drip water at a set time every day. My schedule has been that I've been watering every other day, and that seems to be keeping, with the straw that we've got on the top, that seems to be keeping it okay. But yeah, we'll just have to figure it out and do things a little bit different. And now I'm going to take you out in the garden and I'll show you exactly what the bolting looks like. So here we are out in the garden, and I just wanted to show you what's going on. This right here is our arugula, and it has absolutely gorgeous flowers on it, which of course we don't want because now we no longer have arugula that is edible. We just have pretty flowers. The arugula definitely bolted, and then some of the mesclun lettuce. There's some yellow and then also some of the white because there's some arugula mixed in. That also bolted. And then you can see that my lettuce, my Butter Crunch lettuce over there wilted and is starting to shrivel up. So this was the first casualties that we got. And as you can see, that was like about a third of my bed. But again, I planted it too late. It's my own fault. It is definitely a cool weather plant, so I'll try again in the fall, and I'm even going to experiment, like I said, in putting some under the trellises. And then the really big bolter was my broccoli, which they are huge. They're like 4 feet tall, and they're absolutely gorgeous here too. I mean, look at these pretty yellow flowers. When it first started happening, as you can see, that looks like broccoli right there. And I thought I was going to have lots of broccoli, and it just went straight to bolting. It starts out like this, and then it just goes on. Now, I have a third plant that has not bolted yet, but I'm not holding out high hopes since the other two did. So here's what I was talking about, though. As you can see, it's too close to the peppers. So that was a big mistake that I made, underestimating how big the broccoli was going to get. So I'll be taking those out tomorrow and having to take care of those. These are our potatoes. They're doing great. We have some other ones that we had just started, but these two, nothing's coming. And then I'll take you over here, and you can see over there, that's radishes that are starting to bolt. Two different types, because I've got pink flowers and I've got white flowers. So that was kind of heartbreaking too, that my radishes are going, because my radishes have been doing great. But some of them are still okay, so we'll see. And then this was the funny thing I had to talk about. This is what you call a volunteer plant. This is a tomato plant that is coming back from last year. Since our ground never freezes here because we don't get cold enough, this happened last year. Several of my tomato plants were ones I didn't even plant. So this will either be a Roma or a cherry tomato, because I had both in these two garden beds. So I'm not sure which it is, but we will find out, I guess, since it's already starting to flower. And then there's another tiny little one right there. So I'm going to have some volunteer tomato plants on top of what I already have, which is not necessarily good considering where it is, because if you look over here, this is our corn. And even though it's planted a tier down, you don't want tomatoes and corn together because they get the same pests. So pretty excited though. As you can see, we got some ears of corn starting, and we've got a little bit of wind tonight. So that's good, because that's how it pollinates, is these flowers lose the pollen and they go down on the little silk of corn. So I'm excited about that. It's always nice when you see it moving like that. So anyway, that's where we're at. Beautiful bolted garden that I will take care of tomorrow, now that I've had a chance to video it and let you guys see what's happening. So again, if you like our channel, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notify button, and happy gardening, everyone.